I got my hopes built up twice there. I saw the writing and then thought, ooh, muscle charge. Then I saw it was a medium MP, which I can't even have any more of. I then got my hopes built up again when I saw the other bit of writing, but instead it's saying that I learned moderate. Which is actually useful though, because once I learn muscle charge, I can then use the moderate commands to use muscle charge. So, because obviously moderate, you do the weaker technique. So, at least I can easily do muscle charge when I learn it. Make the most of the stats, I guess. Got my attack to over 300. Building my hopes up. Thing is, I don't really want to use a medium MP to then collect the one that's been dropped, because then my MP's full, and then in the next battle I might take them out before one of them uses muscle charge. I want to keep my MP quite low after every battle. So if there's a 9% chance, then statistically, it should take just over 11 battles, I think. It's 9 11s is 99, so... But, let's just see. Getting closer to the time that Speedruns spawns. If I don't learn muscle charge quickly, this is going to become a problem. So if I run on, if I run into the Snowogimon immediately and get a speech to come up, the time stops ticking. So that will preserve like a few moments, rather than standing around. Brilliant, just in time for Speedrun, I think, because I think the time now is the sort of time that Speedrun shows. So I gotta get back quite quickly. So yeah, he shows at the Dragon Eye Lake. There's 2 in total. And obviously he only shows at one of them, and it's important to choose your bait quite wisely, because obviously there's lots of fish there as well as him. And it's quite... if you use bait that the others are interested in, then the other fish might take it and it might interfere with you trying to capture Seadramon, so it's a good idea to use bait that the other Digimon aren't interested in. Off the top of my head, I can't really remember what they like and don't like, but I'll just have to see. I'm sure this is the time he shows. Seadramon takes any bait. I don't think there's anything he doesn't take. I want to see crosses, not hearts. Okay, that's not good. Looks of things, I'm not even sure that Seadramon's here. Okay, that can't be good. Okay, well, I'd imagine I'm either too early or too late. That's the most logical. Okay, he's not even hungry anymore. I thought he was. I'm hoping I've arrived early, and I'm not late. I'm also hoping that there's not another explanation, like there's something that I have to do first, or something like that, because that would be I can't think of anything. I mean, I'm sure that I've seen it. I've read about it on Xiaomon's board, so you know, I've done that. Digimushroom's not a good idea. Is that Seadramon? Okay, he's here now. I was just a touch too early. Okay, first step done. Now it's time for the harder step. So, 3 options. I think I'll begin with the techniques. So a good idea to do the techniques first, because I think there's numerous techniques he can teach you, and if you ask him to teach you a technique, but he's already taught you all the ones that he can, then... Because basically, if you tell him to teach you a technique, if he's already taught you every technique he can teach you, then he says, you know, he can't teach you anymore. So if you were to do, let's be friends first, then do an item first, and then you were to do this a couple times, and then... Okay, Aqua Magic. Because, basically, I'm pretty sure he teaches you numerous techniques, so you need to select that option more than once. But I'm not sure what the limit is, so it's like, supposing you needed to do it twice, for example, and you did it twice, then you selected it for a third time, and he was to say to you, I can't teach you anymore. If you had already chose the other two options, then that would basically be like a wasted catch, because there'd be nothing left for you to do. But, obviously, if you do it first, and he says that he can't teach you anymore, then it's okay, because then you've got two other options that you need to fulfill, so it's not like a wasted catch. And giant meat seems to be the ideal bait, because the others don't seem to like it. Okay, and this wasn't quite so successful. I was a bit amazed by how successful that first one was. He took it immediately, and then he got reeled in immediately. Not very often that happens. Oh, there's another thing about fishing. Apparently, if you... if a fish takes your bait, and you don't do anything, then basically the fish ends up eating your bait. If you then reel the rod in, apparently there's a 1% chance if you hook in, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's an item that makes you digivolve to Mega Seadramon. And, obviously that is something that will probably be mandatory. So it's going to be a good idea to do that at some stage. But at the moment, let's just focus on Seadramon. I'm moving the bait every time because I'm hoping it might change the outcome. Aqua Magic's quite easy to learn, but doing it this way is slightly easier than having a battle, so you know. The techniques he teaches you are quite basic, but I suppose it is easier than learning it from battle. Getting a water bottle from Seadramon instead of Shogun Gekomon will save you 500 merit points, which can be spent on something else. Okay, I'm not actually doing anything. I've not pressed the action button once, and yet the gorge was filling up. That was weird. Again, Seadramon is the hardest catch when it comes to catching fish. Or in this case, catching a Digimon. Reminds me of season 1 when they were getting swallowed by Waymon in episode 42, I think it was, with Metal Seadramon, and like one of them said, I think it was Tai, I don't want to get swallowed by a fish. Then Izzy said technically it's a mammal, and I remember seeing a load of YouTube comments saying no, Waymon's a Digimon, and I thought, well, that's quite witty. I probably wouldn't have thought that by myself. Okay, he's on the land? Okay, he's been caught now. Winter Blast, another basic technique, but it makes life slightly easier. Go on, Speedrun, take it the first time. In the previous catches, I think I've been a tiny bit more to the left. Yeah, fishing is going to be quite a main part of this challenge, because obviously I've got to catch a load of fish for the curling games, because I've got to get 10 points against either Monzaemon and Penguinmon in order to get a medal. I've also got to get a load of Digivolution items from them, from beating them in matches. And also I'm going to need an awful lot of sea basses, and I'll obviously show you at the time the significance of them. At the moment it's not important, but it is going to be important, and obviously I'll show you why at the time. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if like Speedruns specifically teaches you specific techniques, or if he just teaches you, say, a couple at random. I mean, like for example, like if I was to learn every move apart from Ice Statue and then catch Speedrun for the first time, you know, like would he teach me Ice Statue, or is that being ambitious? I don't know. Oh, Giga Freeze. Thank you very much. Giga Freeze is one of the slightly rarer ones. The rarest would have to be Ice Statue and what's it called? Aura Freeze? Wherever it's called, where they like fire the coldness into the air and it descends and attacks you. Ice Statue's good though for its speed and power. You know, Ice Statue's very good for its speed and power. It's not very often like a really powerful technique is really fast, but Ice Statue for its strength is very fast. When you compare it to like DG Dimension, where you're there for 5 minutes before it attacks. Not quite sure what the fastest technique is. It might be Ice Needle, because Ice Needle always seems to stop everything. I find that whenever you use Ice Needle, it like never seems to get stopped. It always seems to be the move that's doing the stopping. If you take things at face value, Poison Claw is probably the quickest, but obviously you have to like move to close range to do it, and if the opponent has Ice Needle, then they'd begin with it before you get to them, and so the Ice Needle would stop Poison Claw. But I think Poison Claw probably is the fastest. Being ambitious, but I wouldn't mind learning every ice technique and water technique if it's possible, AC Dramon. I'm probably being a bit ambitious, but if you're happy and teach me everything and able to teach me everything, that would be very much appreciated. Yeah, I'm being a bit ambitious. I take quite a relaxed approach towards fishing. Usually I let the fish have a bit of a lead to begin with, let the gorge go down, and then I start reeling. Because the gorge filling and the rod snapping always seems to be a bit of a pain. I find the gorge filling is more likely than the gorge emptying. Usually when it's like 2 away, I don't press anything. Greymon, I will let you sleep at some stage, I promise. Too bad. I want an item. Give me an item. Thank you. Now all that's left now is friendship. So one more catch and we're done. You'll be keeping Paramon busy with all these giant meats that I'm throwing into the ocean. Still, good use. Speedruns, why don't you come towards me? I mean, I've caught you like 4 times already. Surely you've got the idea that it's probably me, so you could just come straight to me instead of resisting. I mean, I've caught you like 4 times in the space of like 10 seconds in the Digimon World. Surely you've Surely you've gotten to know that it's probably me, and there's no need to resist. It's a bit more resistant this time. So after giving me a water bottle, he's now going to give me a blue flip. Now would be a good time to save and sleep.